Hey nurse leaders, Corey G here with another video for you. This time I want to teach you about the 5 rules for physician communication. Now, physician communication is really key. If you're a nurse leader, frontline staff, anything, if you are a healthcare leader, learning how to effectively communicate with physicians will be very important. And so over my 30 years in healthcare, my 3-decade career, I've developed really 5 rules for communicating with physicians, and I want to share those with you today. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's video. The first one is focus on facts over feelings. It's so easy when you're really emotionally involved with something, or you need to try to really passionately explain your opinion, that you really focus on feelings. And you're like, I feel, and they feel, and we feel. And that's generally not the way that physicians are trained. They're scientists. And so you need to present them with decision-making data. And generally, that won't be feelings. So provide them very specific things like last Tuesday during report, or today when we were communicating about X. Be sure you're very specific. Give them data points. And be sure that you learn how to think like a scientist. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is it's not about you. And it's so easy when you're having communications that when someone says something that hurts your feelings or flares you up or that you disagree with, that you get defensive. Avoid getting defensive. That's kind of the key here. It's really important that you stay on the task at hand, because at any point that you get defensive, then you've made it about you. And that's generally not what the communication's about. I know nurse leaders, you're rarely communicating about things that you're the only beneficiary on. You're trying to work to the benefit of the patients, the organization, your staff. So just avoid making it about you. The third one is be tough but fair. It's really important, especially when you're advocating for patients. Patients are counting on you. People are counting on you. And so you need to be tough but fair. And that means many times being direct, being sure that you also are listening to both sides of the story, that you don't just come in and assume that everything that your staff has told you is completely true. There are other sides of the story that you have to be sure. So be sure that you're tough but fair. So that's rule 3. Now we'll move on to rule 4. Respectfully disagree. This is an art, and I'm going to give you a little inside track on how to do this really well, but it's important that you learn how to respectfully disagree. It's okay that you don't automatically agree to everything that you're told, whether it's a physician or another colleague. So in order to not trigger the ego, because once someone's ego gets triggered in a conversation, the conversation's over. It might continue to go on, but then it just becomes an argument. So you have to avoid anybody's ego getting tripped. And so it's important to learn how to ask clarifying questions. So one of the things you could do is you could say, I have a quick clarifying question. Why would we do X over Y? Or why did you choose A over B? And let them explain their rationale. Now, occasionally someone will just flame or flare when you ask a clarifying question, and that means the ego's been triggered, the conversation's over. But many times you'll get insight into their thought process or what they're thinking. And it may be an incorrect thought process or incorrect thinking. It's important that you know that, because you can say, that makes sense if they're making this assumption, why they would feel this way. And so learn how to ask really great clarifying questions. All right. Rule number 5, one of my favorites, and it's actually one that I didn't learn myself. It's one that my wife taught me. Rule 5 is let it go. Occasionally when I'm really spun up about something that there's not really much I can do about, my wife will say to me, hey, 𝗱𝗁, let it go. And I know that that comes from a place of love, but that's when I'm sometimes just like, hey, you're not going to be able to fix this by getting more and more excited about it or more and more amped up. And so sometimes you just have to let it go and try to avoid what I call stewing and brewing. So this is when you just think about a problem and perpetuate in your head, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you get more mad and more upset, and things that you wish you would have said and things that they said that now make you mad. And you just have to learn how to let that go. You really need to learn how to think, done, next. Just move on. Try not to die on every hill and try not to win every single battle or conversation. Sometimes you just have to say, done, next. All right, I hope these 5 rules have served you. Let's repeat those really quick. First, facts over feelings. Second, it's not about you. Third, be tough but fair. 4, learn how to respectfully disagree and respectfully disagree. And the 5th one is let it go. I hope this video served you. If it did serve you, like and share it to other potential nurse leaders so they can see and learn more about the education that we're doing to try to help nurse leaders lead more effectively with consistency and clarity. And this one's about how to communicate more effectively. So hopefully this serves you. Thank you, nurse leaders, for what you do every day. Have a great day.